So let's talk about the song Apateu, one of the biggest hits in recent memory, and a song I would argue is the most impactful K-pop song in some time. Now, it's easy to see why this song is so huge and popular. You have two superstars. You have Rosé from Blackpink, and then you have Bruno Mars. And if you've been on this channel for quite some time, you know how I measure an impact song in K-pop, which is, do people on the streets talk about it? Do people just know it? You'd have to pretty much live in a cave to not know this song. Apateu is definitely that song.
From the aesthetics of having the main colors be black and pink in the music video that alludes to Rosé's group Blackpink, to the two megastars simply having fun half the time in the MV, to the song being a serious earworm with the Apateu chorus, it's no wonder that the song blew up so fast. It's interesting to note that the song has no intricate dance moves like a normal K-pop song. In this song, the moves are all very simple that anyone can do, but I would even argue that the dance isn't the most memeable nor most popular aspect of the song. It's the chorus, the song lyrics, and the playful attitude that makes this song refreshing and entertaining for fans. Let's delve in to just how impactful Apateu actually is.
We can talk about many metrics, how this song is just so impactful and influential. And I'll start with the easy one, views. It has over 1 billion views. And the song, at the time of this video, hasn't even been out for a year yet. That's incredible. That's insane. And then you have so many people just singing this song, Apateu, Apateu. I see so many viral memes on social media such as TikTok and Instagram. And I think it's a song that's going to be remembered next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and so on. It's a song that will not be forgotten.
Going a bit deeper into the song's influence and numerous milestones, Apateu surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify in just 100 days. Rosé ranked at number 3 on the global digital artist rank after 28 days, with fellow Apateu conspirator Bruno Mars right after her at number 4. The song reached 40 number ones on the Shazam charts around the world, being the most Shazammed searched song by a K-pop female artist. Apateu was also named Song of the Year by Gallup Korea's 2024 public survey within the country from participants under 40 years old. Because of the song's alcoholic nature, the song boosted Hitejilo, an alcoholic beverage company, and their stocks by 6%, as many people bought more alcohol to assumingly play the Apateu game. YG Plus's stocks also rose by a staggering 157.8% over 6 trading days, showing great confidence in the Black label in handling Rosé's solo work. Apateu also put the original 1982 Apateu song back on the map. This older classic of Apateu by Yoon Soo-il had a 190% increase in streaming on Genie Music after the Rosé and Bruno Mars version of Apateu. The original apartment song owner was gracious for his classic's revival, saying that, "I'm grateful that Rosé reconstructed my song, and that there's a lot of younger listeners from the MZ generation, or millennials and Gen Z, listening to my song thanks to Rosé and Bruno Mars." The original 1982 classic is also a far cry from the more upbeat drinking Apateu game that the 2024 version sings about, as the original is a bit more sad and melancholy. Yoon's version talks about the apartments that were springing up in the 1980s in places like Jamsil and Gangnam, where families dreamed of living one day. The nostalgia for the 80s classic, where it talks about the rise of apartments in modern-day Korea, is the true meaning of the song, which we'll talk about a bit later.
So let's talk about what the Apateu game actually is. Now, if you've seen the music video and became obsessed with the song, you probably looked up how to play the Apateu game. And Rosé actually explains it quite well.
I'm Rosie, and I'm going to teach you how to play APT. Okay, so since it's my favorite game, we're going to sing Rosie's favorite game. Game start! And then we go Apateu, 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 Apateu. Because it was my game, I would scream out the number as we stack our hands on top of each other. 5! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! I got it, it's my shot. One shot.
It's a very simple game to play it at its basic rules, where you play in a group, you put your hands together, and you stack them until you hit a certain number that you declare at the beginning of a game, say 10. And whoever lands on 10 has the drink a shot. So after the song came out, Rose and Bruno Mars popularized the once obscure drinking game outside of Korea. And that's huge because a lot of K-pop fans know how to play this game now. And that's really interesting to hear. Just before that song came out, I don't think many people knew about this game. But I did read an interesting story from, I believe, Vogue, where Rose originally was not going to release the song and said, hey, let's just scrap this song. This is a silly idea. Until Rose's staff said, no, we have a banger in the wings. Let's continue with this song and go with it. And ask Bruno Mars if he's down to do this. Bruno obviously said yes, and the rest is history. Now, there is a more intense version of the Apateu game, and I believe there was a couple variety shows like Running Man that showed this version. So,
나 참을 거야. 이거는 소리 조금만 나도 끝이죠. 시작. 아파트. 으쌰. 오케이, 됐어. 오케이. 전 미리 사과를 드릴게요. 나 이른 악물고 참을 거야. 어우, 괜찮아요.
So the person that puts their hand on top of another person's hand, instead of just going like this and stacking it gently and nicely, in this version, the top person has to hit the bottom person's hand as hard as they can. Bottom person's hand, if that person makes a sound, they have to drink. As well as the person that's slapping them too. So it has to be kind of like a silent hit. Both have to keep their composure as well as not making a peep, because some of those slaps hurt. And it's really funny and intense because some people can hit hard, right? And then some people might fake you out and then hit you later, and then you'll make a noise and then still gotta drink. That's the more intense version of Apateu that I know and I used to play.
While people are playing the Apateu game and stacking hands upon each other, or in the more hardcore version of the game, slapping each other's hands as hard as possible, why is the drinking game actually called Apateu? That's a good question. The song actually refers to an important aspect in Korean society, apartments, because it's just not a place to live in Korea. It's a way of life. Unlike many other Western countries where there's a lot of space and many people live in houses, most people in Korea live in apartments. And this goes back to modern Korean history, where Korea was industrializing fast in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. According to a 2022 housing survey, 51.9% of Korean households live in apartments. Since it's convenient, it's modern, and it's a lot cheaper than owning a house in Korea, especially in the largest cities, Seoul and Busan. Unlike in many other countries where apartments are a temporary place to live before leveling up to a house, apartments in Korea are highly desirable, as upper middle class and wealthy families tend to live in apartments next to the best schools and subway stations in the city. Now, of course, not everything is great living in an apartment in Korea. For one, there's floor noise, where if you have noisy neighbors, especially ones with a lot of family members, you're going to be hearing their noise right next door to you, above you, or below your home. Although I never personally experienced this when I lived in Korea, there's even been some nasty legal battles and violence between noisy neighbors. And one nice aspect of Korean apartments is the ondols, or the heated floor system, which is a godsend in Korea since it can get brutally cold during the winter. And since ondols heat the floor, a lot of people eschew beds, instead preferring to sleep on sleeping mats and sleeping on the floor. Then we have moving out of an apartment. Instead of trying to squeeze long furniture into cramped front doors and carrying them down long flights of stairs since they won't fit in the elevators, Korea has these apartment moving trucks where they can extend ladders to any floor. Since all modern apartments have this large patio area in the back, all the movers have to do is open the patio windows, put the heavy stuff on the ladder, and then the ladder automatically descends to ground level. This process of moving out of an apartment only takes a few hours and is pretty quiet, considering that an entire household stuff is being relocated. It's quite amazing just how efficient moving is in Korea, whether you're on the second floor or the 10th. So while people listening to Apateu are definitely not thinking about moving out of a Korean apartment, it's a fun fact to know behind the true meaning of the Apateu game and how apartments are deeply ingrained in Korean society.
So let's talk more about the song's impact. We talked about how pretty much everyone looked up how to play Apateu after listening to the song. I think a huge reason why the song is so impactful is that it goes past cultural boundaries and borders. Because you don't have to be Korean to know about the song and play the game. People are just going to reference, oh, I heard the song, so I know how to play it. It's very memeable. A lot of people are putting it on TikTok and Instagram Reels and showing their friends how to play and just having fun. And when something becomes easily shareable and memeable, it's going to spread like wildfire. And when people get more interested in learning about Korean culture or K-pop, that's another sign of a song being impactful, as well as going around the local streets, as I mentioned a bit earlier, and just hearing people talk about the song.
The song also made waves at the 2024 Mamas on day 2 and 3 in Osaka's Kosera Dome, as Apateu reigned as the top song on top Japan's Oricon stream charts since BTS's Permission to Dance back in 2021, making Apateu the first song by an international audience to achieve that feat in Japan in the last 3 years.
But it doesn't stop there, because Korean idols and celebrities are also memeing the song and playing the game on their socials.
The song has been used to promote Korean alcoholic beverages. For Rosé to casually promote Korean drinking culture gave Somek, as well as Korean alcohol, a huge bump in sales. The song also further cemented Korea as one of the pop culture meccas in the world, where to many international fans, K-pop first put its stamp on the map with Gangnam Style back in 2012. And from there, a slew of K-pop groups added to the K-pop wave, as many wondered, when did Korea started producing such bangers? These days, it's quickly becoming the norm for American K-pop singers to collab with one another, showing that K-pop has transcended past national borders, past Asia, and well into the West.
And I do think one of the cool stories of this song becoming popular is Bruno Mars himself, where he's already a megastar. He came into the song as being so open to the idea, and then he actually had in the music video the Korean flag, which shows a lot of honor and respect to Korea. If you've never been to a Bruno Mars concert in Seoul, he's beloved in the country. He's huge. He'll sell out like any S-tier K-pop group. That's how big Bruno Mars is. So just to have him even holding the Korean Taegukgi flag was a huge hit in Korea. And it shows like the endorsement of both K-pop as well as the country. And I can expect the next time he has a concert in Korea, it's going to be sold out within minutes, and he's going to probably mention Apateu and perform it with Rosé, and the crowd's going to go wild and just love Bruno Mars even more. So let's talk about life after Apateu. Well, for these two singers, it's quite good. Rosé, she's already a megastar. She's already part of one of the biggest female groups in the world, Blackpink. And then her solo career is exploding and taking off too. She's hitting the interview circuit in the US. She's becoming even more known. And I believe she uses LA as her home base these days, not Korea.
And to top it off, the biggest indicator that Rosé is now focusing on the West and international audience is when she withdrew from the Korea Music Copyright Association, or KAMSA for short, on January 31st, 2025, being the first major Korean artist to do so since Seo Taiji 22 years ago. The reason? Money, of course, where it said that Rosé can make up to 10 times more money focusing on the US than staying within Korea. With Rosé becoming a much bigger star outside of Korea, she'll need to have a stronger hold of her copyrights overseas, with now American record label Atlantic Records taking over her copyright management going forward.
With Rosé just focusing more of her efforts in the US, she's going to be known a lot more to the average American, which shows that K-pop is slowly becoming more and more mainstream, especially in the major American cities. From all that, we can all see why Apateu is one of the most influential songs of the past 5, maybe even 10 years. I'd put it up there with Gangnam Style. And to have a previously unknown drinking game outside of Korea to being well known is no joke.
I also hope that through the song, people learn the deeper meaning of the Apateu game, as talked about earlier, and how influential as well as expensive that these apartments are in modern Korean society.
So it's great to witness history when Apateu came out. Where were you when that song came out? Because I know where I was. I believe I was at the gym, actually. So that song is going to stick with us forever. So you better get used to the Apateu hook for good.